So this is my 10-foot John boat. It's a tracker topper, 10 wide. It works great for fishing, small farm ponds, small rivers and creeks. But I would like to start bow fishing with it. And I had a piece of aluminum diamond plate, diamond tread, whatever you want to call it, hanging around. My dad's neighbor had an old lawnmower trailer. The guy was going to move and he didn't want to take the trailer. The trailer was falling apart. That's the best part of the trailer. So he asked if we wanted it, and we're like, yeah. So I took it. I've had it around forever. I used it for a bed liner in one of my pickups, and I've had it in the garage ever since. And I finally bought a bow for bow fishing, and that's what I'm going to do with it. So I took that square plate, big rectangle is what it was, measured all my measurements and everything, marked center line of everything and the plate. Ended up using a Sawzall to cut that out. 4.5-inch grinder didn't like it, and the jigsaw didn't like it either. And I burned through 6 saw blades to make those curved cuts on the sides there. And it worked pretty good. It was the best tool that I had for the job. So I put it in here, and I knew I had no support back here on this end because it comes clear back here a ways, because I want a fairly large deck on it. And I knew I had to make something for that. And I was going to cut up some milk crates and angle the bottom of them and stick them in here, stick 2 of those in here. So while I'm trying to make the back piece, I was looking at PVC pipe. There's a open cell core is what they call it, but it's the wall of it. These are solid walled, and other ones have air cells in them, and an air cell pipe weighs half as much as a solid one, but these are stronger. So I went and bought a bunch of fittings, did all my measuring. This is going to go in here like this. So when that top's on, I can ram stuff up underneath there. Probably where my bow is going to go. And I had drilled and tapped this plate and screwed that diamond plate down, and it still had a lot of flex up here. So I didn't really want to do the milk crate thing because it's kind of cheesy. I thought, well, as long as I'm doing PVC, might as well just make something. So across the top of this seat and that seat is the height of this. So it's level across the top. It's in the center. So now when I step on it, that plate doesn't flex. Screw the plate down here and here. It doesn't move side to side. It doesn't twist. And I will show you what that looks like. But before I do that, I want to show you what I stuck on here. This was a 3-foot by 4-foot, one of them super cheap entry carpet mat deals like you get at Menards. And what I wanted to do is protect the paint on the boat, because I want this removable, because This is not going to be an everyday deal. If it was, then I would be more serious about it, put a different deck on it, put a bunch of lights on it and a rail and all that stuff. But I'm not. This is just a small hobby. This is just a fraction of what I do. So I cut these out, siliconed them down to the plate. I did it all along the edges too. This is the back seat here, and that's the back edge. And I left this overhang the plate maybe about 1/4 inch is what it feels like. That's so when I'm putting this plate in, it's heavy. I'm not scratching my rail. I'm not scratching across the top of my seats. I'm not taking paint off my boat. And it'll be quiet when you're walking on it. It's a cushion. So there's what it looks like installed. I bought some stainless 1/4 screws at Menards, 2 of them. And you won't catch your feet on them. My boat seat swivel is below the deck, so you won't be catching your foot on that. I would put a rail on this, but it's so small anyways that it's not gonna matter. If I fall out of here, I'd rather just have a clean fall out than flip over a rail and really hurt myself. But yeah, that's gonna work pretty good. Thing is it made the front heavy, so when I put my trolling motor back here and the battery, it should even it out. And if I get my buddy to go with me, because if nobody's going with me, I'll just go out of my kayak. It's way easier. But this way, I can take somebody with me and we can get some catfish bait. Yeah, it was like 50 bucks for the PVC. I don't know what that metal costs. I know it's expensive now. But if you find somebody with a ratty old lawnmower trailer or something that has that stuff on it, even if the trailer was 100 bucks, it's worth it. If you can pick it up for that price, get it. That's pretty good stuff. But yeah, I'll get a bow fishing video out here fairly quick. And we'll see how many fish I miss. I haven't even fired that bow yet. But it looks like it'll be a pretty decent one. I mean, it's a bow. It's 40 pounds. It's made by Bear, I think. It's a Cajun Archery. Split limb. It's a snap shooter, so when you draw back, there's no back wall to stop you. Not like an archery bow. It's a whole different feel. I felt it and I drew back and I'm like, where's the wall? And the guy's like, there isn't one. It's a snap shooter, so you just get used to it. But I will. So here's the bow I got. It is a Shore Runner EXT. Ready to fish. This was a package deal. Comes with 1 arrow, the book, the bow with the super winch reel on it. It's set at 40 pounds. Guy at Shields set it up for me. Put knocks above and below my finger savers here, so these don't slide. He likes to use the Chaos arrows, so I bought one. I do like the slide a lot better, and I also like the stop a lot better on this arrow than on the arrow that came with it. The slide's kind of weird, but it'll work. So that's my backup arrow. That's my initial arrow. They come with a ton of line in the bottle. Like enough that when you're reeling it, you can feel it catching because it's piling up right here. It starts piling up there. So I pulled it out and essentially cut everything in half. The shots I'm going to be making are not going to be that far because I can sneak up on these fish pretty good, especially when they're tailing. In about 2 or 3 feet of water, these fish are big enough that the tips of their tail is sticking out of the water, and it's in weeds. So you can get pretty close to them if you can be quiet. But it seems like a pretty decent bow. It was $330 at Shields for the combo. It's got the deep groove cams, so you can snap shoot with it, which is what it is. There's no draw adjustment. There's no, I mean, you can adjust the poundage, but that's it. The draw length is what it is, and if you're snap shooting and you only pull halfway back before you think the fish is going to get away, just let it fly, because it's still going to go. This thing here is kind of useless. The limbs are in the way. This is for holding your arrow. The limbs are in the way and the bottle's in the way. No matter how you try to use this thing, I'm probably going to take it off, because I would like to use it and I can't. It's annoying me a lot. Looks like all stainless hardware on here, screws and bolts and everything. The reel is aluminum. Seems like a pretty good reel. All kinds of adjustment on it. This is just a brake. That's all that is. Otherwise, you can just click your handle and start reeling, and it'll bring the fish into you. But this is just to slow the fish down. That's all that's for. You don't need it to reel in the line on this reel. Yeah, we'll get her wet and muddy and fishy.